Your first look at high school football scores and highlights. This is First Down Friday Night with the WZDX Sports Team. First Down Friday Night is sponsored by your local Health Mart Pharmacy and B2EDI. Be the best to ever do it.
Hey, hello everyone. We've reached the month of November, and here in the state of Alabama, that means it's time for playoff football on the high school circuit. Tonight, the road to the AHSAA Super 7 championships beginning with 5 more victories, and any team could get that blue map. I'm Mo Carter. We've got an action-packed show ahead for you, and I'll let you know we've got a lot of people who are moving on and a lot of other people who are going home. But look, I'm not the only one that's going to tell you about some great games tonight. The dynamic duo of Kayla Carlisle and Charity Chambers were out and about tonight with some great postseason action. They'll let us know where they're at tonight covering some great games.
First round of the playoffs means we've got some great games all across the state of Alabama tonight. First up in Class 7A, I've got Austin taking on Oak Mountain. Then after that, we'll take a look at some 3A action with East Lawrence taking on Sachs.
The reigning 2A state champions, the Fyffe Red Devils, are no strangers to the playoffs, but this is uncharted territory for them as it's their first time competing in Class 3A. Coming up, we'll have a look at how their road to state is shaping out as they took on Oakman tonight.
All right, thank you so much, ladies. Can't wait to check out those games in a few moments. Let's start you off with some local highlights. Last year, Madison County was one of our local teams that advanced far into the playoffs. This year, they look to do the same, but in a lower classification. Tonight, Scott Sharp's team taking on Oneonta at Tiger Stadium, and the Tigers mascot was getting down. But he wouldn't like to see this. Following a Tigers field goal, here come the Redskins, and oh boy, Colin Moon looks like he's about to take this thing to space, or at least take it to the end zone right here. 80-yard kickoff return right there, stealing momentum back from Madison County after they had just hit a field goal. That puts them up 20-10. But Scott Sharp, it's like, come on, guys, we got to get something going. But the Tigers, they do respond in the second quarter. Ramiro Towers calling his own number, and on the QB sweep, he finds pay dirt. Tigers down 20-17. Next, Madison County possession, Isaiah Purdue on the speed sweep, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown for the Tigers. Madison County led 24-20 at the break, but let's check out your final score as in the end, it is Oneonta who comes up to Gurley and knocks off Madison County by a final of 27-24. So congratulations, Coach Scott Sharp and company, on a great season. Now, Oneonta would face the winner of this one, Gordo and Brooks. Of course, Gordo is led by their 4-star quarterback, Tanner Bailey. He's got offers from Alabama, Auburn, LSU, Miami, and Georgia, just to name a few. First quarter, Gordo running back Rashawn Williams cut it up the middle for a short touchdown right there. Extra point no good. That makes it 6-0. Still in the first, Brooks quarterback Kyler Merks with a designed run. He goes right up the gut for a 9-yard score. Extra point was no good. We got a tie ball game at 6 apiece. Fast forward now to the second quarter. Gordo leads 12-6. Brooks knocking on the door, but the Green Wave's Hunter Oglin jumping in front of the route, and he is taking this back all the way for a touchdown. That's a pick six. That's a game changer, everyone, making it 20-6. In the second quarter, Gordo's defense gets to the quarterback. Ikiltane Bird finishes with the sack, and look at the size of this massive man right there. Let's check out your final score in this one, everyone, as Gordo goes on to win by a final tonight of last night by a score of 41-12. So next week, they will take on Oneonta. All right, coming back closer to home, everyone. Homewood was in the area taking on the Athens Golden Eagles. This was a pretty good one out there at Golden Eagle Stadium. Bro Sussie's pass is a little underthrown, and when that happens, you get intercepted by Tylen Suggs, and the Golden Eagles have prime field position. Later on, it's Jordan Scott finding Avante Thompson. He picks up a nice gain down the right sideline if you can make it out between everybody on the sideline. Then later on, it's Jalen Gilbert, the former First Down Friday Night MVP of the week, up the gut for a touchdown, 7-0. Later on in the first, it's Brody Sussie. He'll dump the pass off to Aaron Marsh, who slips a tackle, and he'll pick up a nice gain for the guys from Homewood. Then on 4th down and 4, it's Sussie. He'll find Randall Irvine streaking down the middle, and look at the great catch right there, everyone. That would tie it up at 7 apiece. Let's go to the second quarter now. It'll be Aaron Marsh once again over the middle, and that play right there will eventually set up a field goal by Homewood, and Homewood would kick it up, and it would be good. They're up 10-7 at that point. Let's check out your final score from this one. It was back and forth, but unfortunately, Homewood comes into Athens and knocks off the Golden Eagles by a final of 34-31. They'll take on CLAY-CHALKVILLE next week in the second round of the playoffs. How about Fort Payne taking on Gardendale out there in football land, as I called it a few weeks ago. Gardendale with a huge lead and adding to it. LT Sanders with a nice TD run cutting through the Fort Payne defense. That puts them up 31-10. More from Gardendale. The Rockets, they are just soaring through the Fort Payne defense. Kawan Brown with a short TD run right here, and they extend their lead now, making it 45-17. Then they put in the backups, and here's Caden McGruger with the TD run around the corner. Nobody's going to touch him as he gets into the end zone. 52-17 at that point. Let's check out your final score, everybody, as Gardendale goes on to win by a final of 52-24. So we got to congratulate Fort Payne on having such a great season. Now, Gardendale would take on the winner of this game. Muscle Shoals down there taking on Mountain Brook. Strother gives, throws the fade route to Paulson right, and he hauls it in for a touchdown. 7-0 Mountain Brook on top. Now, after the Trojans dry stalls, Mountain Brook once again will be knocking on the door. As you see, they've got those wonderful lights like Brian Denny does, you know, the little shimmery ones. Well, back comes Mountain Brook once again, and it's Struthers once again going to Paulson right. And there's the blinking once again, everybody. Makes it look like a scary movie almost for Muscle Shoals, as they're already down 14-0. Trojans trying to make something happen. Luke Peoples fires the pass across the middle, but it's intercepted by James Nichols. Mountain Brook would score right after that, making it 21-0. Let's check out your final score from this one, as Muscle Shoals is eliminated by Mountain Brook tonight by a final of 38-7. Of course, they'll take on Gardendale, who beat Fort Payne, as we just saw a few moments ago. Now out east, the teams that finished the season 1 and 2 in Region 7 of Class 3A, beginning their march to the Super 7. Charity Chambers had that assignment, and she will hook us up with highlights from out east.
There's nothing quite like that playoff feeling, and for the Fyffe Red Devils, they are no strangers to that postseason feel, as they're the reigning 2A state champions, and they've also won state title 4 times in the last 6 years. But I gotta say, this is uncharted territory for them, as it's their first time competing in Class 3A. Tonight, they took on Oakman in the first round of the playoffs. The Red Devils undefeated in the regular season, hoping to pull out a win tonight, of course. Oakman with the ball first, and they're driving down the field. Baylor Odom launches one down the sideline to Denzel Chapman. He picks up the first down and then some. Very next play, Oakman airing it out again. This time Odom finds Derek Hubbard, who picks up some good yardage. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Odom sharing the love. This time he connects with Caden Marchbanks, who's wide open in the end zone for the score. Extra point would be no good. Wildcats lead 6-0. Now, the very first play of the first drive for the Red Devils went a little something like this. Ike Rao on the keep, and look at this. He turns on the Jets, and no one can stop him. He cruises in for the score. Extra point would be no good, though, so score is tied at 6. Wildcats with an answer, though. Odom with time in the pocket, and once again sends one deep to Chapman. What a play. First down, Oakman. I gotta say, the Odom to Chapman connection was on point tonight. This time it would be for the score. They go for 2 and make it, so Wildcats up by 8. But this game was tit for tat in the beginning. Rao hands it off to Kyle Dukes, and he fights for a few yards. Same drive, it's 3rd and goal. Rao on the QB keep, runs it up the middle for the score. They're going to go for 2 to try to tie the game here. And Red Devils on the fake, it's Justin Stiefel who cruises in to tie the game. But let's take a look at the final score. Huge congrats to Fyffe on the win. Next week, they'll be taking on the winner of the Welborn versus Phil Campbell game. A little bit down the road, Plainview taking on Vinemont. Things looking good for the Bears. 3rd quarter, they're up 20-7. Vinemont with the ball to start out the second half. Colby Miller fumbles it. He recovers it, though. Andrew Hull, though, still comes up with the sack. Bears force a 3 and out. So Plainview with the ball. Jathan Underwood gets the pitch. He has some good blocking there and picks up the first down. A couple plays later, Marcos Vega takes the handoff. He finds the hole, makes a defender miss. It looks like he's going to be making a house call, but not quite. He was tackled by Colby Miller right near the goal line. That great run, though, would set them up for this. The very next play, Noah White takes it in for the score. Bears led by 21, but let's take a look at the final score. Congrats to Plainview on the win. Next week, they'll be taking on the winner of the Piedmont versus Colbert Heights game.
All right, thank you so much, Charity, for that one. If you were excited about the beginning of the show, you need to stay put because we got more action coming your way, especially in Class 7A where the big boys play. We got all your highlights from that classification coming up next.
Now back to the action on First Down Friday night.
All right, boys and girls, as always, do not forget, we are on social media, of course, at Mo Carter WZDX, at Charity WZDX, who you just saw out there in the Fyffe area, and at Kayla WZDX. Hey, send us a tweet. We got about, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes left. I may read one out on the air before we go off the air, everyone. So, of course, in Class 7A, a handful of teams were able to compete tonight for another shot at playing next week. One of those teams on the prowl is the region champ, and that's Austin. The Black Bears taking on Oak Mountain this evening. Our very own Kayla Carlisle joining us live from where the Black Bears roam. Kayla, how's it looking out there across the river?
Man, Mo, let me tell you, the playoffs do not mess around here in the state of Alabama. Coming into tonight, the varsity game of the week was Oak Mountain versus Austin. The Black Bears were a slight favorite to win this one, and that was purely based off the fact that they had more playoff appearances in the past, and they do have a few of offensive key players like Trey Shackelford, Quincy Crittenden, and Javon Jackson. But you know what? That Oak Mountain offense said, we don't care. They came in guns a-blazing, and here's what happened. It didn't take long for the Black Bears to assert their dominance. Here's what I mean. Opening kickoff, Austin ready to return. Oak Mountain's Hogan Morgan kicks it up, and it's Javon Jackson there with the catch. He begins to run, and before you know it, he gets wide open. No flags, no defenders, just the end zone. Austin would score on the opening kick. They go up 7-0. Oak Mountain's turn to retaliate now. It's third down, and they need to convert. Evan Smith goes left and long to his receiver, but the pass gets blocked. Black Bears force the punt. Black Bears ball now. Quincy Crittenden takes the snap and slides his way ever so slightly around the Eagles line and somehow makes his way to an opening. And it wouldn't end there. No, he would take it all the way to the house for the score. Austin now leads by 14. Ensuing kickoff, the Black Bears, Noah Flood executes the onside kick successfully, might I add. Austin takes over possession once again. Fast forward, Austin on third down. Crittenden scrambles for an opening, but the Eagles take advantage. They take him down, forcing fourth down and no score for the Black Bears. The Eagles now with the ball. Smith with the clean fake, and he jukes the Black Bears defense. No one's around him. He would take it all the way to the end zone. Eagles get on the board 14-7. Let's go ahead and take a look at the final score. Tonight's winner actually will take on the winner of Sparkman and Hoover. Mo will bring you that game in just a minute. Over now to East Lawrence. The Eagles hosted Sacs tonight for the first round. Here's some of that action. Second quarter, Sacs up 14-8, and they're about to try again. Check out this great Sean Parnell to Denero Good connection for several yards. It wouldn't be a touchdown, but it certainly would help them set up for this. Parnell pushes back. He goes left, and he knows where he wants to put it. He passes it to Jalen McCants, who is waiting in the end zone for him. Sacs, they go up 22-8. And now here's a look at your final score of that game. Next week, Sacs will be taking on the winner of Pennington or Geraldine. In Decatur, I'm Kayla Carlisle, WZDX Sports.
All right, thank you so much, Kayla. How about some more action? Of course, we talked about Sparkman. They were taking on Hoover tonight. Earlier, Malik Thomas gets it on the swing pass, fumbles it into the end zone. Luckily, Joseph Buffet is Donnie on the spot for a Hoover Bucks touchdown. Now later on, it's Josh Lundy looking deep, and the ball is actually underthrown. Caleb Ransall comes up with the INT. That's a good move right there for the Sparkman Senators. But Hoover will return the favor. Nick Sawyer looking to the end zone, and Jay Avery is there to make the catch. Unfortunately, he plays for Hoover, so that's an interception right there, right before the half. Lundy swings it out to Jabari Gaines into the end zone, and Hoover takes a 14-0 lead. Let's check out your final score from this one as the Bucks go on to win by final of 49-14. Of course, they will face a familiar four in Oak Mountain, who beat Austin this evening. All right, staying in the realms of Class 7A, a pair of familiar foes squaring off in Madison this evening. James Clemens and Hewitt-Trussville have played 4 times over the past 7 seasons and twice in the postseason. Well, this game was so big, it aired live across the entire state. It was the Edge as a game of the week for week 1 of the playoffs. The Huskies will be the one that strike first. Cade Otkaruk will find Sean Jackson down the seam for a 59-yard touchdown on that brand new turf right there. Huskies up 7-0. I think the game really changed right here. James Clemens drives down to Husky territory. Looks like they've got an easy chip shot field goal. However, Aaron Rowe's field goal attempt goes wide right, no good. So the Huskies will take over. And when I say take over, they really do it. Armani Goodwin. Remember he used to play for Florence a few years ago? Well, he's at Hewitt-Trussville now, and he just runs away from that James Clemens defense. That puts the Huskies up 14-0. More from Goodwin as the Huskies are knocking on the door. He will get the call right here with the handoff, and watch him like literally walk into the end zone at this point. It was 35-0 at the break. Hewitt-Trussville on top. Let's check out your final score from this one as the Huskies come into Madison and knock off James Clemens by a final of 55-12. So the winner of that game will take on the winner of this one. Grissom going up against Thompson, the defending Class 7A champions. Grissom trying to move the ball against the Warriors but not having any success. Caleb Hunt is tackled for a loss by Kamarian Hambright, the big nose guard for Thompson. Look at that big young man right there. Later on, quarterback Jacob Foss, he'll run out of time and he'll be sacked by Jack Van Zant and Nathan Riddle by Thompson's defense. Now Thompson also showing what they can do on the offensive side. Connor Harrell going deep, and guess what? He's got a man, everybody. Ryan Pepins hauls it in for a touchdown. Now more from Thompson coming up. Instead of the passing game, they decide to go with the rushing attack. They hand it off to Nathan Crockett. Watch him go right up the gut, make a few juke moves, jumps over the defender, and he is gone right there, everyone. It was all Thompson tonight. Let's check out your final score in this one as Thompson goes on to win by a final of 49-7. So congratulations, Coach English and company, for getting into the playoffs for the first time since 2004. Thompson will take on Hewitt-Trussville, of course, beat James Clemens on this evening. All right, there's more high school action coming your way right here on WZDX. It's First Down Friday night. But coming up next, we'll get away from the action and introduce you to our newest offensive lineman of the week. Stay tuned.
Now, more scores and highlights from across the valley on First Down Friday night.
Welcome back, everyone. You know the drill. This year, we teamed up with Pro Football Hall of Famer Walter Jones and his brand, Best to Ever Do It, and we're recognizing our best guys who work in the trenches, you know, the offensive linemen. Kayla Carlisle has more from this week's Best to Ever Do It offensive lineman of the week.
Hey, this week's winner for the Walter Jones Best to Ever Do It offensive lineman of the week is Nicholas Stokes.
When I was first started, I only played special teams freshman year.
From special teams to the offensive line, Nicholas Stokes has been all over the field.
So freshman year, I was a receiver, just practicing receiver, and then didn't come out sophomore year, let that go, played basketball, and then I came back and tight end. So started at tight end there, and then this year I had to move to tackle.
But his most recent switch has been back to tight end, a position NFL Hall of Famer Walter Jones once played as well.
It's been a weird journey, but fun. Learned a lot, seen a lot of people in different positions, learned a lot about the game quickly.
But the Walter Jones Best to Ever Do It Offensive Lineman of the Week award recognizes players not only for their skills on the field, but for their involvement in the community as well. And for Nicholas, that's something he's done for a long time. As an Eagle Scout, he's recorded over 170 hours of community service.
It's not hard, but it's a lot of work and time. So same thing with football, you just got to stay dedicated.
Whether it's helping other sports or giving a helpful hand in fundraising, Nicholas has always put others before himself, and he has scouts to thank for helping him do that.
Scouts is not just you're cleaning up other scouts stuff. It's like it's a I guess a way to help other people and like get out to the community.
Congratulations to Nicholas Stokes for being this week's Walter Jones Best to Ever Do It Offensive Lineman of the Week. Tune in next week to find out who we pick next.
Hey, congratulations to him on being the newest Walter Jones offensive lineman of the week. All right, here's some 5A scores, everybody. East Limestone falls to Parker by a final of 35-21. They'll take on Alexandria next week, who took down West Point by 37. Some other scores to tell you about. Guntersville was all over Hayden tonight. They win 62-3 and remain unbeaten on the season. We'll wrap up the Week 1 playoff edition of First Down Friday night when we return on WZDX. we do have some Class 1A scores. Waterloo falls to Woodland by a final of 30-6. They'll take on Berry, who beat Summons and Christian 50-14. All right, let's jump back into some action. Madison Academy, the second-ranked team in all of Class 4A. They will take it on Dora tonight at Bill Washington Stadium. Avery Seaton hands the ball off to William Stokes, and watch him break a couple of tackles, hit a little spin move. He's tripped up inside the 5-yard line, and that will set up none other than Avery Seaton, our former First Down Friday Night MVP of the week, with the QB keeper inside, making it look easy right there. He puts Madison Academy up 35-14. Now, Dora, they would have a great drive, but then there's a fumbled exchange right here by DeMarcus Goodwin. He cannot hold on to the ball. It is picked up by Stokes. Looks like Stokes is hobbling down the field, but guess what? He finishes this entire play 70 yards on the return for a touchdown, 42-14. At that point, let's check out your final score in this one as Madison Academy rolls to another big victory. They go on to win by a final of 49-14. Congratulations to the Mustangs as they advance on to the next round, where they will take on Northside. They knocked off Deschler 20-13. So we saw a lot of teams tonight advance, and we saw a lot of other teams hang their hat on the season as they prepare for 2021. As always, we want to thank you for joining us here on another episode of First Down Friday Night. I'm Mo Carter. You saw Charity Chambers and Kayla Carlisle earlier. Of course, we'll be back next week for week 2 of the high school playoffs here in the state of Alabama. Have a great weekend, and don't forget to mask up. Be safe, everybody.
You've been watching First Down Friday Night, sponsored by your local Health Mart Pharmacy and B2EDI. Be the best to ever do it.